cannot believe Clemens fell for whatever half-baked argument you managed to cobble together. That imbecile. And Svoboda. I thought her more capable. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. Flattering. But also, I suspect, largely disingenuous. You seem confused. Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. That's preposterous. In a transparent attempt at sowing discord between us, I haven't the time nor desire to enumerate the failings in your logic. Suffice to say, you misunderstand the basic fundamentals of my objectives. The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. De Vries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment.
All I hear is empty bluster from an amateur schemer whose only success so far is failing loudly at a sloppy plan. This slapdash takeover of yours is graceless and rushed and reeks of ineptitude and desperation. In my day, we did these things with considerable more efficiency and panache.
And who are you, exactly?
Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor, Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
The endpoint. No. The improbability of you interrupting my plans at this singular moment beggars belief.
Our aims are so similar, I'd almost consider joining you. Had you not proven yourself such bumbling fools, dragging me into your mess. Consider how much uncertainty has been introduced into your equations. Can you have any confidence in your predictions at this point?
What in the architect's computational summary are you on about? That hopeless, ineffectual, over-reliant waste of workspace? He wouldn't dare. But I am beyond reproach. My talent without peer. What has Joseph ever done for the Order except occupy my valuable time with useless queries? No, this is some kind of deception. It has to be. I could not have missed such obvious machinations. My math is correct. My math is always correct. How could I have failed to recognize such gaps in my predictions? I checked and triple-checked. What could I have done? Where did I err? Enough! Please. Your point has been sufficiently made, and I truly lack the capacity to debate you further. I've already sent Augustine everything she needs. But all our communications are on this terminal. It is yours to peruse. Though I cannot say whether the information will be useful. Obviously, my analytical acumen is not what I'd assumed. All I know is that I was never meant to stop you. Now I must send word to my allies here at the monastery to stand down and notify them of my resignation from the Order. Effective immediately. Fool I was to believe I mattered in the plan's grand scheme.
The loss of Fort Endurance, disabling of the tramicular, and a 17% reduction in effective
I have no more predictions to offer. Now, forever.
Malaise that undermines cognitive function. Take heart from these additional, sharply contrasting data points. Our efforts deciphering the universal equation remain unabated. Extraction continues at Zeranium Manufactory 7, as does research at the N-ray range. Remember, just as our calculations allow for a predictable range of error, so do we. Our work continues.
I have grown worried.
Now do carry on.
I have not
And as
received
always,
word from Archivist Clemens in
anticipate
some
and
time,
calculate.
and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this
Continuing
bodes ill.
as predetermined.
Without him, our
Avid
only option is a
followers of
direct
our
assault.
predictive playlists
A
are
risky
already
proposition,
aware
to be
of
sure.
which song
The last thing
follows.
any of us want is for our
Interested in
plan to
receiving our
spiral out of
weekly
control.
selection of mathematical
And
clues?
so it falls on
Visit
you
your
to seize
local
back
predictory.
that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged for your tireless work. With this knowledge of Greater Tranquility Substation and its security codes, our plans for the peace talks can finally be spurred into motion. However, without Archivist Clemens and his explosives at our disposal, we've no choice but to proceed with our contingency plan. A direct assault. Though the codes will allow me control of the automechs on the station, we'd best accept now that more lives may be lost than previously assumed. Yet we must act unflinchingly. To fail now would mean the end of everything. I'm much obliged, however, though the code, yet we must.
How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? Four, four, five, 9, 2, 3, 0, 7, 8. 1, 6, 4, 0, 6, 2, 8, 6, 2, 0, 8. 9, 9.
We should get ourselves to those peace talks post-haste, Commander. Wouldn't want to miss out on any of the mayhem and carnage.
I believe I mattered in the plan's grand scheme.
How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? How many numbers am
You were just listening to next week's #1 hit.
Agent, over here.
To facilitate abstract thinking and
I assume you had a chance to speak with Landon. That is, Sir Wiley. I'm greatly relieved to hear it. Did he mention me at all? I'd rather hope that would not come to light. I gather he did not receive the revelation well. I'm sure you also think me to blame for all of this. But you have to understand my position. How ill-equipped all in the Order are for this new world. With the schism and now the war, the Order stands alone for the first time in its storied history. We have no experience with governance, well, myself especially.
What's more, you can rise to the occasion. You're the senior, highest-ranking scientist here. Don't get lost in the math. Lead.
You've given me much to think about, and the opportunity to do so. I'm grateful. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your assistance in reclaiming the monastery, regrettable as the business was. I had intended to offer you access to one of our experimental weapons, but it seems you already helped yourself to it. You always do seem a step ahead of me. May all your future endeavors proceed in accordance to the plan.
I don't know what you're complaining about. We emerged totally unscathed.
I'd estimate I'm 43.11% scathed.
Then increment your bravery.
It all. I told him he wasn't going to make it. Is this why Wiley Silk spared him? Because the seer already predicted this would be his fate? Shorter base and height. The sum of those squares will always be of use as the square of the longest side, the hypotenuse. A proof, a very proven proof. You think you know it all. The answer's in your heart. Unless you show the proof. Your theory will be picked apart. Your theory will be picked apart. Prove it, yes you must prove
My time is yours. You may.
Prove it, just deduce it. Prove it, yes you must prove it, just deduce it. If you cannot prove it, take your theory and prove it. You must
As determined, you're listening to Grand Plan Wireless. For transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future. Music. Welcome to another installment of Ask a Vicar with Vicar Mag Sai. A recent inquiry: why do I hear product advertisements from the same voices using Auntie's Choice rampant commercialism?
The place we differ most from our nearest rivals is, well, our overall philosophy. The way we view everything. Above all, while we are the descendants of all humanity through the solution of the universal equation. The difference could argue. So, while we might share methods for such as the of goods,
Do you have an inquiry about whether your birth a message at your level? Keep put, much is left to come. And more music to perform.
Of space, a chromospectral analysis. Which talks about the average color of space. The famous stellar cartographer Otisgard reported. His answer was the expected one, but I can already hear the with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance, wouldn't the average color be black or white or simply a shade of gray? The answer is rooted in the science of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no green stars. To understand all of this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emission theory. The typical piece of non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb.
This unit is taking inventory of its medicinal stockpile,
which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines
The grand plan is the
and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in. Low temperature emission is mostly infrared and not visible to us without proper instrumentation, which I need not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars, you wonder? Reveal conclusion for themselves, but if I must...
The rift is... Why does it burn so?
Thanks for getting out of the way, Commander. I need the room to...
What? No!
Go for qualification.
In fact, such a composition itself would constitute evidence for intelligent interference. And no such evidence of any kind has ever been detected. Let's get back to Newton Odescard, the famous stellar photographer. The methodology of the Odescard's chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in the grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. The subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5% of the predicted value. And that result was beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, while the saturation is a mere 9%, and the value is a full 100%. In more novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth, neophytes, and as you study your lessons, stare at the nondescript walls of the library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
Arcadia's voice of reason. Accomplished colleagues, please clear the next 1.7 minutes of the academic calendar for a compact dissertation on current events from presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar.
Fellow Ascendants, it is not hyperbole to state we live in perilous times for scientism. Spatial anomalies, incursive corporatists, our divisive division. From the Protectorate. Not an ideal course of events, yet none represents the peril of which I speak. We cannot choose our trials, only predict them and prepare. We have done both with unusual efficiency. Our greatest enemy is distraction. We must not let events outside our control divide our attention, or we risk incongruence with the grand plan. That will implies chaos. We need order. We cannot control misfortune's ebb and flow, but we can predict it with reasonable precision, as if tracking the tides or charting the shoals. Embrace rational thought, stick to the plan, and unlike our emotional protectorate brethren, the fair winds of scientism will carry us to ascension.
What happens next may surprise you, but not us. Next up, well, the seers among you already know.
So we're stealing this, right?
impossible to decrease. Caught in a catalyst, leading to combustion. Knowing that a synthesis upon this combination of this fatal abstraction.
Huh.